afternoon, I'm Kasey Wilkins with your local 10 News update. The man responsible for a box cutter attack in an Albury home will be eligible for parole in July next year after his sentence was reduced on appeal. Christopher Lloyd's 8-year term has been brought down to a minimum 3 years and 5 months by the Supreme Court. Shepparton will host a pilot project where rapid antigen tests are rolled out to critical businesses. Staff in industries, including meat and poultry processing, will soon be able to buy the tests online, picking them up at Bunnings. Applications to buy the pilot tests are open until Thursday or whenever the allocation runs out. The Mayor of the City of Greater Shepparton is thrilled. The partnership between the Council and the Shepparton Festival has been extended for a further 3 years. Music, local producers and lots of food will be on offer at this year's event. Kim O'Keefe is really thankful to event organisers for making the festival happen once again. Taking a look to sport now, St Patrick's had bumped Belvoir out of the top 6 in the Cricket Albury-Wodonga competition, defeating the Wodonga Raiders to pick up all those important 6 points. Matthew Crawshaw's 52 runs cinched his side's 6-wicket win, with Liam Scammell taking 4 catches to hold the Raiders to 123 runs. Next week, St Pat's take 5th place to Langata. And in the Beijing Winter Olympics, they've wrapped up with the closing ceremony, and our local skiers and snowboarders have taken home 2 of Australia's 4 medals. It's the most successful Winter Olympics for our nation ever. Mount Buller's Jakara Anthony won gold in the moguls, while Tess Cody picked up bronze in the snowboard slope style. Taking a look to the weather, 28 in Albury-Wodonga, Shepparton and Wangaratta today. I'll see you soon with more local news. Good afternoon, I'm Kasey Wilkins with your local 10 News update. Australian billionaire Mike Cannon-Brookes has teamed up with a Canadian asset management firm to make a joint bid to take over AGL Energy. However, their bid has this morning been rejected. It was reported they would look to invest in more renewable energy generation projects and infrastructure. AGL's goal is to go net zero by 2047, but a change in ownership could have moved that forward by 10 years or more. AGL rejected the bid, saying the offer materially undervalued the company and was not in the best interests of shareholders. More than 20 international flights will land in Melbourne today as the Australian border reopens to international tourists. A Singapore Airlines flight was the first to land in Melbourne just after 8 o'clock this morning. Melbourne Airport's Laurie Angus says it'll be a slow but steady return to how things were. Phillip Island's Fairy Penguins are among those who have been waiting for the return of overseas visitors. Now our international border has finally come down. It's been close to 2 years since the iconic birds last put on a show in the flesh for an international audience. More than 400 GP clinics and pharmacies across the state will start offering the Novavax jab from today. The 4th COVID vaccine to come to Australia is also available at state-run clinics, with extra pop-up sites to be opened in the coming weeks. At this stage, Novavax is only approved as a first or second dose and not for anyone under the age of 18. And the Victorian Chamber of Commerce believes the economical benefits of regional Victoria getting the Commonwealth Games is going to be second to none. They say towns across the Gippsland region are likely to be put in the spotlight. To weather, 22 in the Latrobe Valley. Good afternoon, I'm Kasey Wilkins with your local 10 News update. Victoria's first overseas tourists in close to 2 years have begun touching down at Melbourne Airport this morning. The hard border that's locked international tourists out of the country for 704 days was officially brought down at midnight, and it was a Singapore Airlines flight that was the first into the terminal. The long-awaited arrivals are a great opportunity for airports across the state to start working at a greater capacity, with travels to regional areas set to boost local economies. Local police are seeking any footage or witnesses to an incident in Kangaroo Flat on Friday that saw a vehicle flip onto its roof. Police say a white 4x4 ute veered onto incoming traffic along Diamond Hill Road around 3:10 in the afternoon, causing a black Mercedes to veer and flip. A man in his 20s was rushed to hospital following the incident, but the driver of the white ute is believed to have fled the scene. The Federal Health Department has started recruiting volunteers to fill staff shortages in aged care homes. It comes just 2 weeks after the Prime Minister announced 1,700 Defence Force personnel were available to fill these roles. Taking a look to sport, the Bendigo Pioneers have beaten the Gippsland Power in an impressive performance at the weekend's NAB League girls footy match. The Pioneers held strong at all interchanges, winning convincingly. However, a huge score of 15 goals, 999, to the Powers, 4 goals to 26. Next week's match against the Calder Cannons will see the Pioneers going in at 2 wins and 3 losses. Taking a look now to today's weather across the region. Echuca and Swan Hill both to reach a sunny 27 degrees. Bendigo 26 degrees today. I'll see you soon with more news. Good afternoon, I'm Kasey Wilkins with your local 10 News update. Victoria's first overseas tourists in close to 2 years have begun touching down at Melbourne Airport this morning. The hard border that's locked foreigners out of our country for a total of 704 days was officially brought down at midnight. It was a Singapore Airlines flight that was the first into the terminal. The long-awaited arrivals are a great opportunity for airports across the state to start working at a greater capacity, while travel to regional areas is set to boost local economies. A 19-year-old woman was caught by Warrnambool police on Friday for allegedly using her mobile phone while driving. The P-plater was said to not be displaying her plates and was suspended from driving. She was spotted by police using her phone as she drove right next to an unmarked patrol car right along Raglan Parade. The driver's vehicle was impounded immediately and will cost upwards of $1,000, while additional fines will likely be issued in court at a later date. Health experts hope the release of a fourth COVID vaccine option from today will entice the remaining unvaccinated Victorians to get their shot. From this morning, Novavax became available at state-run hubs as well as more than 400 chemists and GP clinics across the state. The new vaccine is currently only approved for use as a first or second dose and is only available for those over the age of 18. Meanwhile, the Federal Health Department has started recruiting volunteers to fill staff shortages in aged care homes. It comes just 2 weeks after the Prime Minister announced 1,700 Defence Force personnel were available to fill these roles. Taking a look now to the weather across the region. Cloudy and 21 in Warrnambool. Cloudy also in Colac, 20 degrees. Ballarat to reach 19. Horsham, 24 degrees.